Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the December release by the Don Deeva. These are available right now, so in the description box below I will link the Don Deeva site, I will link their Instagram page, and I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from this collection. So we do have 14 polishes to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Sagittarius AF, and this is described as a tawny, creamy chrome with loads of shifty copper and gold shimmer. There's also hollow and hollow flakes. So here's our first coat of Sagittarius AF. This does cover really well on this first coat. I'm going to go for 2 for full opacity today. There's a ton of these flakes out, and the flash that's in here is super strong. So like I said, complete opacity in 2 coats. It'll dry dull, so you'll want top coat, but nothing is difficult to remove. Next up we have Blue Topaz, and this is described as an icy blue jelly with crystal chameleon flakies of blue, pink, gold, purple, and hollow. Here's our first coat of Blue Topaz. This one is extremely sheer. I do build it up in 3 coats. I didn't achieve full opacity that way, so I did also show this as a topper over a blue cream. Formula on this is wonderful, a great amount of flakies, very smooth and easy to work with. It is going to dry dull, so you are going to want top coat to finish this off, but nothing will be difficult to remove. You might get some slight texture from the larger flakes, but nothing that one coat of a top coat won't finish. So here it is over the blue. I do love it both ways, but I think I prefer it on its own. Nothing in this is going to be hard to remove. Up next we have Waka Flocka Flame, and this is described as a unicorn pea polish in shifts of deep blue, purple, and red. Here is our first coat of Waka Flocka Flame. This one's a little bit sheer here on this first coat. It is going to build up nicely in 2 coats today for full opacity. A beautiful dark color that this unicorn pea shimmer can stand out against. I do recommend going in for top coat just because it does dry on the dull side, but nothing dries textured and nothing's hard to remove. So there's 2 coats. Up next we have Candy Canes and Pea Brains, and this is described as a galactic pink full of original unicorn pea pigment. It shifts of green to red. Here's our first coat of Candy Canes and Pea Brains. This one is my standard favorite formula from Don Deeva. These sheers with the strong unicorn pea and just a slightly tinted base. I think they're beautiful and they're always well executed. This one is no exception. It builds up gorgeously in 3 coats. The shimmer that's in here is super strong. You'll want top coat, and nothing's going to be difficult to remove or dry textured. So there's 3 coats. Next up we have Grinch'in Ain't Easy, and this is described as a key lime colored polish full of original unicorn pea pigment. It does say that there are 2 different kinds of the pigment in here. Here's our first coat of Grinch'in Ain't Easy. This one is such a pretty color. Beautiful formula. Again, these sheers are my favorites from Don Deeva. They put this beautifully strong shimmer in them and they stand out just incredibly. Formula is always wonderful on these too. I did get full opacity in 3 coats. You will want top coat. It does dry dull, but nothing is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Sweet Child of Mine, and this is a mint green solar that when in the sun it does become a bright sky blue. There are an aurora shimmer in here and micro glitter as well. Here's our first coat of Sweet Child of Mine. This one's pretty well opaque here on this first coat. I'm going to show you 2 today for full opacity. There is glitter in here, so it is going to dry with some texture, so you will want a thicker glitter eating glossy top coat, and removal on this one will take some scrubbing. So there is 2 coats. And then here I'm going to show you the sunshine shot, as well as here is the indoor shot. Up next we have No Scrubs, and this is described as a royal purple to cerulean thermal with pink, blue, and gold flakes. Here's our first coat of No Scrubs. This one does cover pretty well here on this first coat. Not totally opaque, so I am going to build it up with another coat. Formula is very smooth, very easy to work with. The transition on the Don Deeva thermals this go around are very smooth. Nothing took a long time. Everything transitions nice and easily. This is going to dry dull, so you'll want top coat, but removal's easy. So here is 2 coats. Up next we have Stacy's Mom, and this is a gray to violet thermal with flakes in blue and red. Here's our first coat of Stacy's Mom. This one's a little bit on the sheer side. It is still going to build up really nicely. But again, this formula is just a pleasure to work with. I've never had a Don Deeva formula go sour on me, so I think they're pretty solid with their formulations. I did get opacity in 2 coats. Depending on your application, you might want to go in for 3. And this one also transitions nice and easily, and nothing's hard to remove, so there's 2 coats. Up next we have What's Going On, and this is a maroon to pink thermal with pink, gold, copper, and green flakes. Here's our first coat of What's Going On. This one, just like the last 2 thermals, has been pretty sheer on the first coat, but it builds up surprisingly in 2. It goes for all of these though, that depending on your preference and application, you might want to go in for a 3rd coat. Just like the rest of them, this is going to dry on the dull side, so you will want top coat, but removal on these is going to be easy. So here is that transition, and look at how beautifully these colors work together. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Smells Like Teen Spirit, and this is described as a green to colorless thermal with copper, gold, and red flakes. Here's our first coat of Smells Like Teen Spirit. Just like the other thermals, this one's pretty sheer on the first coat, but it is going to build up really nicely in just 2. Smooth, easy to work with formula. This one though does have some glitter, so you are going to want maybe a thicker top coat to finish this off, and removal will take just a little bit of scrubbing. So here is the transition on this one. It does go green to green, so it's not as bold of a transition, but it is beautiful. So there's 2 coats. Up next we have Peaches and Cream, and this is described as a peach crelly packed with original unicorn pea pigment. Here's our first coat of Peaches and Cream. This one is another kind of sheared out unicorn pea polish that just calls to me. Beautiful formula, easy to work with, no running, pulling, or staining. It just requires some building up. I did achieve full opacity in 3 coats for this one. It is going to dry on the dull side, so you are going to want top coat to finish this off, but removal is going to be easy, no glitter or anything of that sort. So there is 3 coats. Next up we have Like a Virgin, and this is described as an exquisite pink hollow. Here's our first coat of Like a Virgin. This one does cover pretty well here on this first coat. It is going to reach full opacity in 2. Just like most of these hollows, it is going to dry much more holographic than when it's wet. You are going to want top coat. It is going to dry dull, and it'll help that hollow stand out, and removal will be easy. So there is 2 coats. Next up we have Ironic, and this is described as an orchid shade with a shifty pink to purple shimmer. Here's our first coat of Ironic. This one's a little bit sheer here on this first coat. It is going to build up really nicely in 3 though. Formula is again wonderful to work with. I'm really not sure what's happening with my lighting here. This is the first time I'm looking at this video, and don't trust it for color accuracy. My photos are definitely more accurate, but you will want top coat. It is going to dry dull, and removal on this one is also going to be easy. So there is 3 coats. And lastly for today we have Brass Monkey, and this is described as a pink flaky with a French rose flaky as well, and an Aurora pigment with indigo and purple to red shifting flakes too. And here's our first coat of Brass Monkey. This one is sheer. It is meant to be, so you could build up these flakes in a dimension, and it is a gorgeous look in the long run. Formula is wonderful to work with. I did 3 coats to reach opacity. You are going to want top coat. It is going to dry dull and textured. Removal of this one is going to take a little bit of scrubbing just to get all those flakes, but it's not hard like a glitter. So there's 3 coats. My favorite of the collection is Sagittarius AF. All of them are beautiful, don't get me wrong. This one though really stole the show for me. These holographic flakes that are in here, the kind of brown base, it's a nice neutral while having something super special, and I do think those are really pretty, and this one is executed gorgeously. 2-coater, beautiful polish, highly recommend Sagittarius AF. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite was from this collection. Let me know what you plan on picking up. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.